What's up, guys? Welcome back to River City Poker. Today I'm out here at Scott's house. We're going to look at a couple of hands from the last tournament that we've been doing on the channel. We're also going to look at a few things deeper with a little bit of software, kind of go into that. We're also going to talk a little bit about local gaming and some of the other stuff that we're doing here on the channel.
So if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us along for some future content.
Local gaming.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Games that can be played right now are only poker.
That's it.
That's it. You got dog betting and you have poker. Even War, right? The game that we played as kids, War, is played as one-card poker at the local casino. From what I understand, that's all linked back to you're only allowed to play poker, and you're only allowed to play poker in the dog track, and we're currently not allowed to run dogs. So I don't really know how casinos are still operating.
I have a problem with that. So back in the day, I used to play a lot of online poker. I made some decent money at it and did pretty good. And in just like one vote of a night, like some clandestine meeting happened, and everybody that played online poker was no longer allowed to play.
You're talking about Black Friday.
So when we actually got poker in our local city, I was actually quite surprised, because our city's pretty Bible Belt and pretty tight about the rules when it comes to anything.
And when it started, it was $40 sit and goes, right? There wasn't like games, there wasn't cash games, there wasn't...
So legally, it was always tied to dog racing. The only place that we could play poker was at a dog track. Well, just recently, they passed a law to ban dog racing in our state. So in my mind, I literally thought it was a sideways way to eliminate poker, just like it was eliminated before, with us not having any say in it. We just lost online poker, 100%. And I thought they were just gonna take it from us now. So there's an initiative to have actual casinos.
I mean, for all we know, that it is like that. Right now, the dog track is getting by on simulcast racing from other states, but other states are slowly banning dog racing, which I'm not against. I'm not for. I don't care one way or the other about dog racing. You know what I mean? Like, I can almost see where it's animal cruelty. I know some of the dogs at the local track tested positive for cocaine. That's probably not good for dogs.
That's not good for dogs.
You know what I mean?
Probably not.
So, I mean, I'm all for banning dog racing. I just don't want to lose responsible gaming, you know, like poker along with it, especially considering New York ruled that poker's a skill game. It's not even a gambling game.
Right. Now, I don't think, I mean, personally, I don't think Texas Hold'em is... I wouldn't put it in the same category of gambling as I would if you're playing craps or roulette.
So, I want to read, I have it here on my phone, Ballotpedia. So, this is from Ballotpedia. It says that Initiative 21-15 or Initiative 21-16 may appear on the ballot in Florida as an initial constitutional amendment on November 8th, 2022. Basically, one of them would allow casinos that are not within 100 miles of current tribal casinos. One of them would be the same thing, but like 130, from what I'm reading on here. So it's really like that's what they're arguing about. But it would authorize a limited number of new casinos, and it would limit a limited authorization of casino gaming. So they're also going to define what they believe casino gaming is, this, that, and the other. There's a lot of like legislation that goes along with that.
3 casinos, right?
Yeah, but so it authorizes 3 new casinos to conduct casino gaming, which directs the Florida Gaming Control Commission to license casinos based on the merits of applications, which basically I assume means you got to be in the loop to even put in an application. That's probably some behind the scenes stuff there.
It would be expensive to start. It'd be expensive to start a casino.
And Initiative 21-16 would authorize businesses with active card room licenses as of January 1st, 2022 to offer casino gaming if they meet location limitations and make minimum capital investments towards new development and construction. So that means you could see slot machines.
First floor best bet slot machines. Exactly what I was thinking.
100%. We could end up seeing that. And so I'm not against that. I honestly think Jacksonville, like poker in Jacksonville would be better if it had other means of gambling, right? And I also think, so we're going to talk about Best Bet a little bit, and I don't want to talk shit about them, but there are our local card room.
And that's the only local card room.
That's our only local card room. Under the current rule, you can only have 1 dog track per county and 1 card room. Card rooms have to exist in a dog track, so there's no competition. So whatever Best Bet says, that's what we're doing. And so to some extent, I think having another card room would open up options. I think Best Bet's great. I mean, they offer great jackpots and this, that, and the other. The staff is awesome, but I will say that the minimum buy-in being $40 really makes the game, like, tough. You know, you have guys in there that are essentially just buying in for as cheap as they can, trying to win maximum money. And if that guy could go get on a roulette table instead of being at the poker table,
he might do that.
I feel like he would do that. The casino would get their money, and the quality of the poker game would improve.
I don't think we're gonna get any shortage of donks at the
there's
poker room we open up in Jacksonville.
There's always going to be bad poker players, and I wish somebody else could open up a place and have
some healthy competition.
A little healthy competition. It's only good for the game.
So maybe we'll get less rake. So more or less, there's an initiative out there. You can find a ballot online. You can help get this petition on the ballot if you're a registered voter in Florida. They sent me something in the mail. So if you're a registered voter and you got that in the mail, go ahead and sign it. Send it on in. We're all for getting this on the ballot, and hopefully when it's on the ballot, we vote that it passes.
Yeah. I do want to add on to that Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry said on Twitter that Jax is a top destination for sports entertainment, and I welcome the opportunity to add gaming to what at City of Jax has to offer. I look forward to talking with gaming leaders about potential, whatever. So, honestly, that's really cool that our specific mayor is, like, interested in
All
this.
I heard is, if we get a casino here, we're going to make a buttload of money.
Yeah, that's what he said.
If you're the mayor...
That's like, very much what he said.
Like, when you're coming up for re-election, showing the gains that you made because you have a casino come in, and all of a sudden there's this much prosperation in your community.
FanDuel and the other one, DraftKings, they're pushing for this. There's a lot of money being dumped into this, so... It looks like it could be good for us, and I really hope it is, because local poker needs a good shake.
And let's add the side note: gamble responsibly. Don't gamble anything that you're not prepared to lose.
Always gamble responsibly.
Gamble responsibly.
Always.
So we're not for going out there spending your mortgage checks on anything. Just. All right, guys. We had a pretty cool hand in the last tournament. We got Jordan, Brian, and OJ. All with some pretty good cards, and we get a good amount of action going on. So Jordan's got King Jack, Brian's got 10 Jack suited, and OJ is going to show up with 7 of hearts and Jack of clubs.
So everybody's got a Jack, is what I just heard.
Everybody has a Jack. It gets raised pre-flop, it gets called by everybody. Of course, that's why I made the video. But what's great is the Case Jack comes out on the flop. So now, like I said in the very beginning, it's coming down to like who's got the bigger poker balls in this hand.
Yeah, that's what you said in the commentary.
Yep. So who's going to play this hand and take the reins of it?
I'd almost have to say that I disagree there a little bit, because I don't think anybody's giving up top pair.
No, not with 2-5 on the board.
Yeah, so everybody's pretty much going to just commit, and I think then it just comes down to kicker.
Hey, we called you.
I don't even think balls necessarily is going to win this a lot of times, unless, I mean, you're given the opportunity to make a big move.
I mean, he technically left.
So OJ's the first one to make a big move. He shoves all in, 32.75.
The other trick, King Jack, it's hard to be outkicked with King Jack.
It is. I mean, that's Brian. He didn't even make a move yet. He's just sitting there waiting for Jordan to get out of the tank.
Did you guys really just, like, flat Ace Jack? Like...
Yeah, did you sit there with Ace Jack? With it was raised 700 pre-flop.
Well, you didn't place flat aces, kings, queens. Did you flat Ace Jack? How am I losing the pot?
Right. So, and then we're going to go into really deep in a little bit on what the players' ranges are that we play here. And I think out of the players here, Jordan probably got the tightest range. Brian a little bit looser, and then OJ a little bit looser than that.
I would agree.
OJ's a little bit methodical about his looseness, but definitely does play a wider range. It's seen on camera.
They all got it in?
They all got it in.
Okay. I guess because OJ went first, he didn't have the opportunity to get out.
And the turn and river don't change anything.
Nope.
Brian takes it down with the out kick.
Yeah. It's almost a good thing to get it in before the turn, because you might have wussed up a little bit.
Well,
like, oh, what if he had Queen Jack, you know?
Right. Good thing for that OJ shoved on him. He kind of did the work for him.
Yeah, for sure.
But it wasn't a wrong move. OJ hit the jack. I mean, what else was he doing with 7 Jack there? hoping to spike top pair and squeeze,
and
right?
do the thing, yeah.
And do the thing. Do what he does.
That's it. He's just stabbing. I'm going to come in, and there's either going to be a flop that everybody misses, and I'm going to stab it, or I'm going to connect in some way and stab it, or I'm going to flop the nuts, and I'm going to stab it. Like,
that's about right, and I see it work for him over and over and over again.
It does.
It
does.
This time it does not.
Nope.
This is one of those backfire hands. But that's going to happen when you play that range. And since we're talking about range, go ahead and pull up what OJ's range.
What do I think OJ's range is?
Yeah. So
well, if we jump over here in Flopzilla, what we got on this side is we see him with Jack 7 off.
Yep.
So I mean, if we just open this up
till we get to Jack 7,
till it pops, should be. I'm getting off track a little bit. There it is.
Not yet. Keep going.
That's not Jack 7. Oh, that's Jack 7 suited.
Yeah. Keep going. There you go. It popped up.
There we go.
So right there. That's about his range.
I mean, I feel like we can trim this up a little bit. Like, is he really playing these weak ace offs? Well, where is he at in relation? I'm in the small. He's in the big. Yeah.
So yeah,
put these back on. Turn them back on.
He's probably playing those.
And so the other thing is, I always assume that people aren't on the bottom of their range. Like, what's the odds you just got dealt the worst hand in your range this hand? Yeah.
This is about the range that we can expect OJ to be in this situation.
For sure. Well, I mean, that's, again, minimum range. That just popped up. So I think he probably plays 10-7 off. I think he probably plays...
And let's give credit. Let's get rid of the...
4 deuce,
the crap,
5-3. Those are probably pretty bad. I think he does play some of these one gappers. Maybe that comes out. But I mean, with that is like, I bet he does play queens, like the queen. I bet he does play, in the right position. I wonder if he will play, where's 7-8? I guess that's already
It's lit up, yep.
Alright. So, I mean, this probably isn't too far off of what he would actually play.
Agreed.
Most of the time in the situation. So it's really just, what does Jordan do with that when a player like OJ calls and the board comes Jack deuce?
Jack 2-5.
So we can see here what his hand actually comes down to in percentage on this board, like how often this range hits this board. And a lot of times it's nothing. A lot of times his range is just like, or it's ace high. Sometimes it's no pair for well over half. It's 46% no pair, 20% ace high. That's 60-something% right there. So, top pair 12% of the time. Will he actually have top pair?
So, and here we find ourselves in that 12%.
Yep, that he actually does have it. It is.
But the problem is, everyone else hit that exact same 12%.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, a little bit tighter ranges.
Yeah.
So we had King Jack call and 10 Jack call. So 10 Jack was suited.
Well, so, I can put in one of those as dead. I can probably put them both in as dead cards, but
so we got 10 of spades, Jack of spades.
So 10 of spades, Jack of spades. So this is Brian's. This is Brian's hand here, right?
Yep.
Against OJ's range.
And you got Jack of clubs you can take out.
So let's think about it from this angle, right? Jordan raises, Brian calls. What's Jordan's range?
Jordan's range is tighter, and Jordan's sitting here with King Jack for this hand.
Way up.
So when King Jack pops up to our board, King Jack off.
So we've seen Jordan consistently play in this range, and currently has King Jack off.
Yep.
So I mean, again, I'm not going to assume that he's got the minimum. I'm assuming that there's a little more space in there.
I think you can get rid of that ace-5. I think you can get rid of the 10-9.
Probably get rid of a couple of these small pairs.
Yep.
Get
rid of the 10-9 suited.
10-9 suited?
Yep. I think he ditches it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think that's about appropriate.
I think that's about appropriate for what Jordan's doing. So, I mean, you can see against on this range that Brian's already a little bit behind the range with a hand like Jack 10 suited. Mm-hmm. So, the money is probably about right. I think the position is a little rough because you've got Ray, who is an active player. You've got OJ in the big blind, who's an active player. And the more and more people that jump in, obviously your equity is going to go down. So I think Brian can avoid being caught in the middle Not that it's not a great hand. I would play Jack-10 suited against a lot of the players at the table from that position. I just think when the player is this tight, you don't necessarily have to be here.
You can get rid of those. I feel you.
And then what did OJ have?
He only raised to 700. I got 10-Jack suited. I'm calling. I mean, I got the possibility for a royal. I got a possibility for straights. I got a possibility for flushes. I mean, the endless other things that can come out there. In Brian's defense, I guess I'd probably play it the same way he did.
Yeah, I mean, it's not horrible. I just think, getting in a spot where you could be the monkey in the middle in a four-way pot against the tight range, you know what I mean? Then, I don't know. But you're right, there's probably either way could go. But what was OJ's hand?
OJ had 7 of hearts, Jack of clubs.
7 of hearts, Jack of clubs. Like that. So here, the equity range is even better.
Jordan wins this
70% of the time going in pre-flop.
Yep.
When you look at OJ's hand against this range. Now, this is the one that I really think you could almost get away from. Jordan did raise it, right?
Yeah, Jordan raised to 700.
Okay, so he makes it 700. We're currently playing 1-2. It's 500 more. I mean, I guess you can argue that it's 500 to win. Yeah, so, you can only win 3 point something to 1. You don't have 30% against Jordan, much less Jordan and Brian. I feel like this is the one you can probably fold. Considering that this is Jordan's range, and then Brian's is probably just a little more open like that, and then take out some of these weird hands, like that. Maybe some of these. So, I think his is a little bit wider. But even against, because this is OJ's hand against Brian's range, he does have his 33%, but I just don't think you have the 33% you need against both players, for sure.
Against both, yeah.
And you definitely don't, I really don't think you have it against Jordan, unless Jordan's doing something weird. And Jordan's been getting a little more active lately.
Yes.
He's been
watching some poker videos.
Yeah, I think he has been.
Some River City poker videos.
He's been doing something a little different lately. I'm not sure what it is yet. I'll figure it out, though.
I've had my eye on it myself. I've noticed.
So, as always, I think the biggest issue in hands is that you could have avoided this whole scenario by just not being there. You really didn't have to play this hand. Sorry, OJ. My bad, bro. But
it is what it is.
I don't think you had to play this one. I don't think it mathematically works out too well.
That's the deep dive, though. That's the getting those percents into the nitty gritty and what the other players had and why you should or shouldn't have been there. And
yeah, for sure. I think this is the kind of thing that people need to think more about. Alright, so you may know that we are currently on 1, 2, 3 different cameras. That's because we tried to film a game with Greg Cortman that, oh my god, it went haywire so fast.
Thanks for coming out. It was awesome to have you. But man, if you didn't bring the gremlins with you, got into all of our cameras.
He did. I don't want to blame him. But man, we've never had a game go that sour. So, and it's obviously not his fault. We had the GoPro on the ceiling failed, and that's where everything started to go bad. Well, first I went and played golf with Greg Cortman at the World Golf Hall of Fame, so I was using my camera equipment all day, and then I fell asleep on the couch like an idiot when I got home. So batteries weren't charged like they needed to be, memory cards weren't clean like they needed to be.
Your phone died?
We
lost battery power after so long?
We used my phone for one of the camera angles. It died, just completely turned off. Apparently it was filming in 4K the whole time.
Ooh.
Everything else was in 1080 by 30 frames. That one's filming in 4K at 60 or something ridiculous. So it chewed up all the data available on my phone. It ran the battery to death, and then it died. And so the overhead, we used to have a Hero 3 overhead over the table to get that camera angle. That took a shit. I don't know what happened to it.
Needless to say, this game will never be aired.
It stopped working. So we have levels where we're missing overhead, levels where we're missing an entire camera. It just went to crap. So, but I'm fixing that. I've already got it fixed. This week alone, I've got a new GoPro Hero 10. So that's going to make life easy because now we control the overhead from the phone. So no more climbing on the table. We're going to have a great camera to pass around the table. I think we're going to pass the 10 and put the 9 up on the ceiling. So we're going to have that. Bob's been helping us film, so the camera gear is really stepping up. I got new mic cables for the microphone on the big camera. We're trying to get new mic cables because Scott has this. I have the same mic at the house. I just need a cable long enough to get it to the table. So we want to get it to the point where you guys can hear the jokes that are going on at the table.
Sometimes we're funny.
Sometimes those dudes are hilarious, and so plus there's a lot of inside jokes, and it'd be great if the subscribers got to know us enough. They knew the inside jokes.
Everyone's their own character at the poker table. By all means, we're our own personalities and whatnot, but
100%.
Playing poker, everything's different. Like, we're not friends for that 2 hours. Like,
no.
we are, but we're not.
No, I'm your mortal enemy. This is the Highlander. There can be only one.
That's it. There's only one. I wanna gut your chip stack. I'm gonna take everything from you.
Yep.
I'm gonna beat you up like a bully on the playground.
Absolutely.
And we'll be friends after.
Yeah. Agreed.
But for those 2-3 hours, it's a battleground, and yeah, we joke around a lot. But man, sometimes anger does get slung around. A little bit of hate gets put out there.
Sometimes you gotta let the steam out.
Yeah, like sometimes you do.
I feel like the garage would make a great tilt room. You know, I've got that garage out there, it's just empty, it's not doing anything. I mean, we need to put a couple lights in there and a camera, put a GoPro. I got a helmet mod for a GoPro, so we can just put somebody
put it on.
Yeah.
So we're getting more
Rage cam.
We're getting more exit interviews in there. We think the exit interviews are awesome.
Yeah.
You get a little bit more insight into how the player was thinking, how they went out.
Yep. Some of those are just funny. Some of those are just really funny. They are
funny. Funniest one to date is Nate getting the hard question of Bob saying, "What's your name?"
So, who do we got here tonight?
Nate.
No, exit cams are good.
I like the one where Jordan's like, "Fuck him, no remorse, fuck him."
I think we got another funny one coming up for our next series of videos.
There's a couple of good
ones. Probably be, if I had to guess, episode 3.
Yeah.
So follow along for the next videos, and in episode 3, I think we'll get a funny player elimination.
As far as other fixes, we've also formatted the game a little different. We're sitting around the table different, more in a traditional poker TV show style, trying to get better angles on everybody, get everybody in the cameras, because again, we talked about this in the last podcast. I thought I was going to be a hero and do new cool things and do shit different and try new stuff, and I was going to be a pioneer in the poker TV industry.
And it didn't work.
Then that didn't work. So we're going to do something better. We're going to do something a little more traditional that's going to look more like what people are used to seeing, and I'm hoping to see subscriber count jump up with that. So
basically what you're going to get when the action's going around the table and you got player A versus the villain over here, you'll be able to get camera angles on both, and we'll be able to zoom into those and kind of get you more immersive into actually the emotions going on in the table.
Yeah,
as opposed to just getting a wide shot of us just playing. So we're gonna get you guys more involved by adding the extra camera angles, and can't wait to show it to you guys.
Yeah, and so with that, jump down in the comments below. What's your favorite part about these videos, and what's your least favorite part? Like, we're adults, we can take it. And we want to make the best content for you that we can. So if we're missing on something, if something's not right, if you don't like something, let us know and we'll review it together and figure out what's the best way to go forward, trying to make the best content that we can. Because I don't see this as a poker, like, this isn't supposed to be the World Series. This isn't supposed to be your local card room stream. I view this more as like a sitcom, where all your favorite characters are going to sit down, we're going to tell dirty jokes, we're going to play cards, we're going to have a good time, we're going to laugh, we're going to have all those great exit interviews and try to get the great table commentary.
Once we lock in the table, the table chatter is really going to elevate a lot.
We really got to get some noise canceling stuff in the poker room. That's the next move, and I've also been looking at like studio lights, the big square studio lights, so some lighting around the room would help a lot. So, but that's our dedication, my dedication, to constantly trying to do something every week to make the channel better and better and better. So
hope you guys appreciate the content. We're going to keep it flowing.
This is hand 33. 33. Alright, so this was one of my favorite hands of the tournament because this just had me laughing. And Doug told me later when watching it, he felt like he knew that it was coming, but at the time, I had forgot all about it. Like, I've heard Rob talk about this scenario so many times, it just escaped my mind, and so I was caught off guard, and I thought it was stupid funny.
Yeah, I saw the video the first time because I already went out by now.
So, to catch you up to speed, I have limped into the pot. Or no, I'm sorry, I clicked raised because I raised the wrong amount, didn't realize the blinds just went up. Rob calls with his queen jack, which is a solid decision. And Jordan's got big slick and decides to kick the crap out of it, honestly. 2,200 is a lot. But he should. He's well above my opening range. Rob's the one here that I'm kind of like, man, I don't know why you're playing this. I know you got 600 invested, but...
He definitely could get away from it.
It's going to cost you 1,600 to stay in.
Thing is, he probably knows. I know the way Rob plays. He does think about what the other player has, and he probably exactly put him on Ace King.
Yeah.
And he wants to race. I think Rob was like, hey, let's go.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, Rob's getting 2-1 heads up. He's on the button, so it's not the worst case scenario.
That's the worst case scenario flop
This
for him.
is the worst case scenario flop.
But,
and Jordan just leads out with the all-in.
So I have a feeling right here, he really wants to know if his read was right.
He said something like, he specifically says, can I call you when I put you on an ace, right? And so I think that's a telling spot here. Like, you kind of put the guy on a big hand called anyway. I mean, and then there's this.
Oh, now that's dirty. Why'd you do that?
It was hilarious. That's what it was. And even Brian is shocked. Brian's like, what is going on?
Because he said, can I see your one card twice?
Yeah. Can I see it? Oh, yeah? Can I see one? Can I see one?
So...
Oh, it's so dirty.
You got Queen Jack.
Can I see one?
I
Are y'all see one? Are y'all gonna trade?
Nice.
What? He said it twice. I said, can I see one? He said, yeah. I said, can I see one? He said, yeah. So I looked at both. What the hell?
Checks out.
4!
Now, I would not say do this in your local casino, but I mean, you gotta roast your homie.
I think it's a dirty angle shoot. I think he just wanted to pick up some information. Look at that smug little, you think you're, funny and slick.
Oh, I know. That's why I cropped it out in the video. It was like, this guy thinks it's funny.
Like, he made a read. He made a call, a bad call, which you actually said. And if we put it into Flopzilla, I'm sure statistically speaking, it would be a bad call as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's easy enough if you just pull up the range we had Jordan on earlier. Which
he makes a joke and asks him if he can see a card. He asks him a second time, and he flips over both cards to get all information. If I get all information out of you, that helps me for the rest of that entire tournament.
Oh, yeah.
100%. That's not just making a joke and seeing a card, haha, funny, funny. That's collecting information that I didn't allow you to see. It's my option whether to expose or not. And he said okay to one card, and he took 2.
That's rough. I mean, I can't disagree with you. It's very dirty, right? It's very dirty, carny tricks, and that's what I said in the first one, and I've gotten got, right?
But Rob's a dirty old man, and he's gonna do dirty old tricks.
So, looking over here, though, the range, Jordan's range against Rob's hand pre-flop, Rob is 1/3 chance to win. And he's probably getting 2-1 on the money, so it's probably not horrible. He just got a flop that wasn't good for him.
If I can get 66% every time I get to put my money in,
what I'm more interested in is he thought about it, right? He thought about it for a second, was like, can I call when what I put you on is an ace? And so I wonder what kind of range Jordan would actually have to be on for this to be a profitable call, right?
I don't think Jordan's not making that move with anything less than that.
No, and
aces.
And I agree. I think this is pretty much about what Jordan plays. But if Rob wants to call the bet here, right, it's all in. So he's all in for the money, which I guess we didn't even figure out the math on in the thing, because it wasn't really relevant. But if Rob wants to call, at what point, how much percent does he need for it to be equitable, and how does that look over here? So Rob's all in for, what is that?
Looks like 1, 2...
3, let's just say 4,500. Rob's all in for 45.
Not even, but yeah.
So that's a pot-sized bet. So he's getting 2-1 on the money. So for it to be profitable, he needs to be not break even at 33%. He needs to be
50,
higher
than 50%.
I would say, yeah, you want to be in the 30% range, which means Jordan really needs to go up. There's equity at 50%. And then even something more realistic like 45, 0.7. This is what Jordan would have to be playing. Pre-flop would have to be 3-betting a range like this pre-flop.
Right.
Before, it's really a profitable call. Because once we get to the board, the board is crazy. We can plug the board in over here.
Ace of diamonds, 8 of hearts.
I mean, on a board like this range is just crushing. Like, we're way back down to less than 40%. Are we going to win? And that's
giving us some, because that's not even his range. He has ace-king. So
yeah,
his range is super tight.
Yeah, I mean, his range is
what he would, that's what he would need to make it profitable. So
up here, this is the range Jordan got to the flop with. You know what
honestly,
I mean?
I think you can take 7s, 8s, and 9s out.
You don't think he 3-bets those?
Mm-mm.
7s, 8s, and 9s?
Nope.
I can take that out.
I have videos of him.
To be fair,
it.
he probably in this tournament we talked about how he folded ace 9 for a limp ace 9 suited. So he probably doesn't 3-bet these hands.
Nope.
Or that hand probably doesn't 3-bet this one or that one. Like this is probably his actual 3-bet range. And as you can see here, you're only going to win against that range on this board like 20% of the time. And I think Rob knows that. He's like, I put you on an ace, folds his hand. He played well. But I just thought
he wanted to know if he was doing it with a good kicker, not a good kicker.
Yeah.
So getting back to the...
Yeah, now that's the part that I think is, you got him. And so, story time, I got rustled in the MGM Grand. I had queen something, or no, I had 7 something, and a flop comes queen 7-7. So I flop trips. There's a little betting. The turn is a queen. So now I'm not feeling so good about my little baby boat, I got the canoe in the situation. And so the turn goes check, check, the river goes check, check, and my opponent folds with his cards on top of one. No, my opponent says, we're chopping, right? You have a queen. And I was like, damn, I don't have a queen. We're not chopping, And so when I basically expressed that, he hurriedly threw his cards over, and they're stacked like that, so you can't see both. And the one on top is an ace. And so in my mind, he's got ace-queen, and I just muck. The dealer spreads his cards. He has ace-10 of clubs for a flush that loses to my king 7 offsuit that I played out of the big blind that would have made a boat. But it's just the way he said it. You have a queen, we're chopping, right? That only implies that he has a queen.
He has a queen. That's what he wanted you to do.
I fucked up. I didn't turn my cards over, and so I've been that hillbilly in Vegas.
You actually got it
by an actual. Funny. I got by a professional gotter. That's what happens. So it sucks, Jordan. I understand you got to protect your cards at all times. You got to protect yourself. That's #1 rule in poker. Protect yourself. Protect your cards. Protect your hand. So it's funny, but. Other than that, I think Rob made the right decision, and I think it would have been a big stretch for him to really ponder whether he can call it a gut shot.
Yeah, that's a gut shot. Queen only.
Or if Rob, there's also, if he misses it, right? Let's say that Jordan misses it, OJ, or you want to say OJ. If Jordan completely misses it, Rob can still turn a better pair than 9s or 10s or 8s
and unbeknownst to any of them, you folded a queen.
Yeah, I folded Rob's hand literally, so he actually has less equity than what was even shown in the poker thing. And so that's probably something to add back to what we were saying about graphics and fixing the content. That's not something we really know how to fix. It would be really cool if every single player picked up their cards and a graphic popped up and disappeared all the fold cards. It would be cool if percentages came up pre-flop for every single hand, and that we tracked it like a player folds and then all the percent change and player folds and all the percent change.
We're going to do this manually. We're like analog.
We're doing it manually. All of our data input is done by hand. There's not really a way to improve that right now. So, I have looked into RFIDing the table. It is crazy expensive.
Crazy expensive.
So
at least $4,000.
it's not even a thing we can talk about right now. That would be cool, but it's not a thing. So for now, just bear with us as viewers of the channel and know we're doing our best to get the statistics accurate. Every time a card comes down and everything changes, we get the statistics as accurate as we can.
Now,
and it's always people's percent chance to win. We don't include shot percent.
And if you're like Daniel Negreanu and you stop by our channel and you want to do like a large donation so we can RFID the table, please.
Daniel Negreanu is welcome to come and dump $4,000 off on the table any day of the week.
Appreciate you,
We'll
buddy.
RFID the thing. I'll put his face on it, like. And to be fair, I will also take that from Doug Polk. If he wants to put a felt on there that says more rake is better, we'll also
do it.
We'll be on either side of that coin. I don't care.
We'll even have you at the game.
Yeah.
Come play a local one.
For sure, that'd be awesome. Who knows? Maybe one day when this channel does something, but. Between now and then.
Right now it's just for fun, and we hope you guys appreciate the content. And again, it's just week after week, we're just trying to make it better and better.
Yeah, we're just doing what we can. We know we've missed the last couple weeks. We've been like hit or miss the last week or two, but it's holiday season. Scott owns a retail store, so he's been extra busy right now. We're both fathers, so we both have like families to take care of. So we do as much as we can, as fast as we can, and try to produce what we can. But honestly, we're trying to do quality over quantity, and we're constantly tweaking that screw, trying to find the right recipe and what's going to look best. So hope you guys enjoy the content. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. We're going to have a new tournament rolling out next week, or possibly the week after. Depends on how lazy we are. But
and speaking of other projects, he also has a golf channel.
Yeah.
Which is?
Miles Martin Golf. You can follow me on the Miles Martin Golf channel. Scott is over at Gone Broke Gaming on Facebook and Twitch, right?
Twitch.tv/GoneBrokeGaming. Any of
there you go.
Thursdays I go live at 7 for anything cool that got traded over the store of the last week. Like tomorrow's show is going to be off the chain.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome. And then sometimes you play poker on stream too, right?
Play poker. You know what? I've noticed I play a little bit different when I'm streaming. And I noticed I don't like the way I play when I'm streaming poker.
Okay.
I feel like anybody that's watching is going to judge me on any little micro move I make.
Maybe I need to come over here and we need to stream some tournaments one night. I'll put some money on the
I feel
account.
like I overfold and I don't know. I play different when I'm streaming poker.
Yeah. 100% though. I should come over here one day.
Dude,
we should wire some money into your account.
I don't even care about the money. It's already in there. Let's just play. We can do a long tournament. We can do a sit and go.
Yeah, I'm about it.
Anything but cash. I hate playing for cash and online.
I hear you. Tournaments do sound a lot funner, but all right, guys, we're gonna sign off here. We appreciate you tuning in this week. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Come back for more. All right.